Hello, in this presentation we'll go over information that has been provided to us by the Office of Human Resources, Department of Employee Relations. Let's get started. We will be covering the following topics shown here during the Employee Relations section of orientation. The topics with the asterisk beside it are policies and a wallet card that details essential workers' compensation information. These documents are located in the library. Information about the 90-day probationary period is located in the Employee Handbook on page 14. All employees must complete the probationary period with the exception of tenured faculty. The probationary period can be extended once, up to an additional 90 days. In this case, a probationary period can be for 6 months. During this probationary period, your department will evaluate your job performance and behaviors. Also, during this probationary period, UAMS can end employment at any time, or you can end employment at any time. This is called the at-will employment period. On or before your 90th day, your supervisor will meet with you to discuss your performance. At that time, your probationary period can be extended up to an additional 90 days, or your probationary period could end. If your supervisor doesn't meet with you on or before your 90th day, you will pass your probationary period automatically. If your supervisor tries to extend your probationary period after the 90th day has passed, you will need to contact Employee Relations so we can investigate to ensure the department is in compliance with our policies. Once the supervisor has met with you and completed the online process, a link will be sent to your email. You will need to click on this link to review your evaluation and make any comments. The final process is the electronic sign-off to complete the evaluation. The Employee Discipline Policy is Administrative Guide, Section 4.4.02, located in the library. The normal steps of progressive discipline are oral warning, written warning, and termination. During the probationary period, progressive discipline is not required, but poor job performance and bad behavior will still be documented. Discipline must be the same or related for a supervisor to advance under progressive discipline. For example, you can have a written warning for attendance on Monday. On Tuesday, you can be given discipline for a dress code violation, and you will not be terminated as long as your behavior is not gross misconduct, but receive an oral warning. Employees do not have to sign the warning, however. The discipline still exists and will be included in your Office of Human Resources file. Oral warnings remain in the department file. Incidents of gross misconduct are considered on a case-by-case basis. Suspension without pay is considered on a case-by-case basis. Administrative leave is used while an investigation is being conducted. If the employee returns to work after the investigation has been completed, they are paid for the hours missed. However, if they are terminated after the investigation has been completed, they will not be paid for any time missed. Next, we will talk about the Basic Code of Conduct policy more in depth. In this section, we'll cover information as related to policies, including the Basic Code of Conduct, the Employee Grievance Procedure Policy, the Not Eligible for Rehire Policy, and the Anti-Discrimination Policy. The Basic Code of Conduct policy can be located in Section 4.4.01 of the Administrative Guide. This policy has many topics that you need to become familiar with. I'm going to highlight a couple of those sections. Interpersonal relations. Treat all employees, vendors, and patients with respect and dignity. Social media. I'm sure you've seen stories where people get terminated because of their social media posts. Be careful what you put on your page and when you put it on your page. While you're at work, you should be working and not posting on social media sites. Physical appearance and presentation. There is more detailed in the UAMS Administrative Guide, Section 4.4.21, under the Dress Code Appearance Policy. Also, know your departmental dress code expectations. The Clinical Programs Policy is HR 2.03. Job duties and function. You must follow within the definitions of the job description all oral other duties as assigned and posted work assignments. Attendance. This is the most common reason for discipline. Please be on time for work. If you have to catch the shuttle bus, give yourself enough time so that if you miss it, you can catch the next one and still make it to work on time. Your department will go over their expectations for attendance. For example, inpatient clinical programs has a grace period of 1 minute past the scheduled shift time before it is considered tardy. The Employee Grievance Procedure Policy is located in Administrative Guide Section 4.4.16. Temporary and probationary employees are not able to file a grievance. If you're given discipline that you believe should not have been given, then you can initiate the employee grievance procedure. You have 10 working days from the date you signed the disciplinary notice to start the employee grievance procedure. If you refuse to sign the disciplinary notice, the behavior still stands and the 10 working days to start the employee grievance procedure starts from the date of the meeting. The first step should be in writing, whether it is in an email or letter, and sent to your department head or department director. If the grievance cannot be resolved with the first step, you have 10 working days after the completion of Step 1 to move to Step 2 of the grievance procedure. The second step should be in writing, whether it is an email or letter, and sent to the Director of Employee Relations. It is your responsibility to initiate the employee grievance procedure. There are some matters that are excluded from the employee grievance procedure. I will highlight some of these exclusions in the next 2 slides. For example, they include wages and salaries, the falsification of application materials, or falsification of any document generated in connection with work, and matters involving reappointment, performance evaluation, and promotion which do not concern a claimed failure by the university to follow established policy. The following are more items excluded from the employee grievance procedure. They include the classification of positions, termination within 30 days notice or more, the termination of the initial or extended 90-day employment period, probation. Some examples of at-will termination pursuant to Board Policy Section 405.4 are loss of grant funding, reduction or elimination of positions, disciplinary actions resulting from conduct that violates state or federal laws. The not eligible for rehire policy is U of A Board Policy Section 405.6 and is located in the library. Your department may mark you as not eligible for rehire within that department. However, only Employee Relations can mark you as not eligible for rehire for all U of A system campuses. The following are examples of gross misconduct: sexual harassment, HIPAA violations, inappropriate computer use, theft, fraud, patient and/or child endangerment, disruptive behavior, falsification of records. The following is a list of campuses that are part of the U of A system: the U of A at Fayetteville, UALR, UAMS, UAPB, U of A at Monticello, and the community colleges in Helena, Batesville, Hope, Morrilton, Fort Smith, and DeQueen. Gross misconduct is determined on a case-by-case basis. The anti-discrimination policy is located in Section 3.1.10 of the Administrative Guide. UAMS will not discriminate on the basis of race, color, religion, national origin, creed, service in the uniformed services, status as a protected veteran, sex, age, marital or family status, pregnancy, physical or mental disability, genetic information, gender identity, gender expression, or sexual orientation as a criterion in deciding against any individual in matters of admission, placement, transfer, hiring, dismissal, compensation, fringe benefits, training, tuition assistance, and other personal or educationally related actions. UAMS abhors and condemns all forms of bigotry and racism. Such behavior is a violation of an individual's human rights and is also unlawful. The following are some of the laws that UAMS complies with and enforces concerning anti-discrimination. Title VI and Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 as amended. Title IX of the Educational Amendments of 1972 as amended, and the Americans with Disabilities Act of 1991. UAMS does this through training and education. A more detailed list of laws are outlined in the anti-discrimination policy. If there is a violation of this anti-discrimination policy, such as jokes, racial slurs, or derogatory remarks, an investigation will be conducted to find out what happened. Although discipline is usually progressive, each incident is considered case by case when determining sanctions. Steps can be skipped. In this portion of the presentation, we'll cover information as related to additional inquiries for FMLA and ADA, where to find the policies, Illumine and the Dean Senior Advisory Council, the Disruptive Behavior Pyramid, how to access Illumine, workers' compensation, and the Freedom of Information Act. If you have additional questions in regards to the Family Medical Leave Act, known as FMLA, or the Americans with Disabilities Act, contact Employee Relations. Both FMLA and ADA are federal laws. FMLA is the Federal and Medical Leave Act, which gives employees 12 weeks of unpaid job protection if they meet the qualifications, and it helps to ensure employees have a balance between the needs of their family and the needs of UAMS. In order to qualify for FMLA, there has to be a serious injury or illness, and employees must have 1 year of service with the state of Arkansas and worked 1,250 actual hours the year prior to requesting the leave. FMLA can be used for employees or their immediate family members, their mom, their dad, spouse, or child. The ADA. There is no waiting period for an employee to apply for ADA if they have a qualifying disability. Employees can apply on their date of hire. If you feel you need an accommodation, please notify your supervisor or Employee Relations directly to initiate the ADA interactive process. UAMS uses an interactive process working with the employee and the department to determine what reasonable accommodations can be provided so the employee can meet the expectations of the job. The many policies at UAMS can be accessed on the Office of Human Resources website by clicking on the Policies tab. Once you have clicked the Policies tab, you will be able to click on any of the following policies: Compliance 360, the Employee Handbook, the U of A Board Policies, the Administrative Guide, new or recently updated, and more policy information. There are also other policies you can access on this page. Illumine provides help to physicians that need to modify their behavior. Illumine is a confidential system to monitor physician behavior. Illumine does not replace the chain of command but is another tool to use. The Dean Senior Advisory Council reviews the screen reports within 24 to 72 hours. The Dean Senior Advisory Council determines what type of intervention is needed to help modify the physician's behavior. This is a disruptive behavior pyramid that shows the intervention levels. As with progressive discipline, this model is designed to modify unacceptable behavior early on and address issues with the proper level of intervention. You can access Illumine via the internet. To access Illumine, go to the link shown here. You can log on no matter if you work on the UAMS campus or the ACH campus. At the top of the page, click on Tools and Resources. Next, click on Illumine, located under the Resources area. You should provide essential information. First, hand-clear description of the observed event. Provide the names of any witnesses. The system responds electronically with the message, "Thank you, report received." The information provided will be made available for review by the Dean Senior Advisory Council. All employees are eligible to apply for workers' compensation starting on their hire date, when there is a job-related injury or illness. Always notify your supervisor immediately when you have a job-related injury and/or illness. If medical treatment is needed, you will need to call the company nurse injury hotline at 1-855-339-1893. The wallet card is located in the library. There is an English and Spanish version available. You can print the wallet card for quick access to workers' compensation information. The company nurse injury hotline is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The ICC coordinator will gather demographic information, such as the name, social security number, and date of birth, as well as details of the injury. The ICC coordinator will then set up a chart and transfer the call to a registered nurse. The registered nurse will assess the injury and determine the appropriate level of care and refer the injured employee to the designated treatment facility when treatment is necessary. The company nurse will immediately send a summary of your conversation to the designated treatment facility prior to your arrival in the form of an injury report. You will need to fill out Section A of the UAMS Employee Student Injury and Incident Report, the I&I form, for all work-related injuries and illnesses. If you go to the emergency room, you will still need to call the company nurse at some point to make sure they have your information in the system to start a claim. If there is no claim, you may end up being responsible for the bills. Call company nurse injury hotline only when you must seek medical treatment for a job-related injury and/or illness. Complete the online UAMS Employee Student Injury and Incident Report form for all on-the-job injuries and incidents, even if you do not seek medical treatment. The Freedom of Information Act policy is located in UAMS's Administrative Guide, Section 4.5.23. Since UAMS is a public entity, all of our information is discoverable, including emails or instant messages you send through the UAMS email system. For further information, please contact Human Resources and ask for Employee Relations at 501-686-5650. Thank you.